Assumptions is one of our biggest enemies. And what I mean is, there's a lot of situations in life, and specifically, I would like to focus on relationships because that's my current focus in life. But at the same time, everything that happens around you, you have had one kind of an experience, or several. You might have seen the good and the bad and the ugly and all the weird stuff. And when it comes to relationships, there's always an unexpected part because you can only control yourself, how you feel, how you react, how you see yourself and everything else. But others, anything that is sort of behind who you really are, then it's out of your control zone. Kind of. It depends how you look at life and what you're going to manifest and then your belief systems. But in a way, it's like, I'm going all over the place. But sorry about that. No, I'm not. Relationships, when you're talking to people and you're chatting on the phone and you might have conversations and then they go quiet. They don't reply to your text messages, or maybe it's someone sitting in front of you, they look at their phone, or they look at you and they don't give you the answer you wanted. They kind of go silent. You might have that awkward silence or something. And then you start thinking, what are you thinking? What's going on in their head? So you assume things. You look into what if and all the possibilities. And a lot of times, a lot of these assumptions are actually wrong. I'm sorry. I don't mean to tell you that you're wrong, but in a way you are. A lot of the things that's going on in people's world, we have no idea what they're thinking, how they're feeling, what's going on in their head. And there's a part of, sometimes you have conversations. So you have an idea of what you want to say. That's one thing. And then you say it and it's already different. Then the person hears it and they see it or hear it and understand it differently. And then after they hear what you have said, which is already in third variation, they're going to assume that they get it a certain way based on their beliefs and experiences and how they feel and everything else. So the moment you had a thought hey, I want to say this, and the moment they get it, it's already kind of changed 4 times. And so a lot of our communications with others are not going the way we want. And it's hard. But the hardest part is that when we're talking and you say something and then you're waiting for that reply, a lot of times you have no way what's going on. And specifically when waiting for let's just say talking, specifically relationships and texting, whether it's on the phone or a messenger or Discord or something else, you're waiting for a reply and they're taking a while. So a lot of people will post a thing oh, if they don't reply, they don't love you, they don't care, they have someone else. Great. Of course there are those possibilities. And then there's a part of, they're busy, of course. They have a life, great, good for them. But then you're still waiting. And while you're waiting, you're assuming things of what they're doing. Why are they not replying to you? What's taking them so freaking long? And then you kind of get, too much into your head. Too many thoughts, too many things creeping in, kind of scaring you in a way, all these scenarios. And you have no idea if it's really happening or not. So if you're not really psychic and you're not able to spy on them and see what they're doing for real, if you cannot get into their head and read their thoughts, then you're in trouble. Because a lot of these assumptions are going to be wrong. And then, you write a message, you're waiting for a reply, and it's been a few hours and you've been spending probably a few hours worrying or having all kinds of thoughts. And they're not serving you because if you're worried, concerned, and then what if, a lot of your time and attention goes into, oh man. And then it's anxiety, worries, concerns, and you're not feeling too good. And then they reply. And it's oh, sorry, I've been asleep or been busy or whatever. And you're whew. But you spend hours and hours worrying and feeling bad. And that's something we have learned to drop. And it's not easy, but it's learning to be comfortable in your own shoes. And really, a lot depends on what kind of relationship you have. Because if it's a person where in a relationship you go to give and you're celebrating, yay, great. If it's a person that you can trust and it really depends on where your relationship is, where it is your sibling, your spouse, your relative, your family member, your friend, coworker, someone else, someone you know, or someone you're in love with but have no idea, like how to get connected, like really depends. So a lot of circumstances, a lot of, things you have to assess yourself. But if you're feeling good about yourself, like, hey, I love myself, I like myself, I like the things I do in life, and I want to share my experience with someone else, then you step into a relationship from a place of you can give. You're not coming into a relationship to get something, and you're amplifying a lot of your experiences. So it means that whenever you're going to chat about something and you're not getting the message, you can go like carry on with your day. If they write back, great. Like if they don't, then you're like, oh, they're probably busy. And whenever they write back, they write back. A lot of us are in that like, hey, I want to hear from them. And, Storm, of course, like we kind of want to connect. We kind of want to be with them all the time and just chat and like really connect and have fun and have this joyful experience. But when they're gone, when they're not replying for a certain amount of time, that in your head, they should talk to you for that much this often, like you're going to describe it to yourself or define it. And if you're not getting that response, then you're getting kind of worried and creeped out. And so what is it that scares you? What is it that makes you feel bad? Or like, you're like, oh, like what if? Learning more about yourself is very important. What triggers you? What triggers those thoughts, concerns, and feelings, and why? Is it like, okay, maybe it's a new relationship. Maybe you don't have, or like you don't trust them enough. You don't know what they're doing. So there's like a lot of room for assumptions. But if you're feeling that way, then it's like you have to analyze yourself and see what is it that you need, that you expect that person to give to you. It's like, okay, well, I want to feel safe in our relationship, meaning that this person should give you an update once in a while, like, hi, babe, or like, like something. And I'm at a restaurant right now where I'm working, I'm busy, I'm in a meeting or something. And you're kind of like, even a few words will be enough for you, but you're waiting for that update, for that little thing that will tell them about your day. And, like, hey, they haven't forgotten about you. Like they don't have amnesia or something, great. But if we're looking at those little things of why are we feeling the way we're feeling, and what is it that we need from that person, then we can look at how can we satisfy that need ourselves. Okay, like I want stability, I want safety, I want to know this person actually cares about me. And the way I would define that they care about me is everyone defines love and connection and care and relationships differently. So you have to look at yourself. What is important to you in a relationship? What do you want to get? What do you need? What do you expect? And are you communicating about those needs? If a relationship is really new, then you're probably not going to do it. You're not going to say like, hi, we just met. So what do you need from a relationship is, and then you're going to drop them all the list of things they have to do for you. Like, it's not going to work. It doesn't work like that. But more like, like, hey, you chat with a person and then you're like waiting for their response and then you feel bad. And then you're like, oh, like, do they love me? Do they care? They've been gone for too long. And really depends on people and how they are. Some people are like, they're not going to get a reply, so they're going to assume things and they're going to feel worried for a while. Others are not going to get a reply. They're going to feel bad and worried for a while, but then they're going to get mad and be like, why didn't you write to me? And the whole demeanor changes. The way you're going to communicate next time with the person, like they might have been busy or, whatever happened in their life happened. But then they come to you expecting like to talk to you, and it doesn't mean everyone. Like all these relationships can be different. I have no idea who your person is, the way their personality is, how they talk to you, how they treat you. I'm just talking like possibility of this scenario and this specific person is that this person actually is interested in you. They want to talk to you. They have been working and they had no time to connect. So this scenario, okay, not everyone. We're not going to define like it's generalities. So there's like a lot of different ways it can go. But when a person like that wants to connect, they're going to write to you and you're going to be like, hey, you haven't wrote to me for a while. And it really depends on how you respond to a person. Because if you're coming from a place of, I didn't hear back from you and I feel bad and I blame you, that person will feel bad when they talk to you. So now they know that okay, they have been working, they have been like doing something, and they like didn't write to you. But now they know that one, they didn't write to you, it's been a while, and next time they connect with you, you're gonna be mad. So it kind of like makes them resent you in a way. They don't want to connect with you as much because now every time they're gonna talk to you, they're gonna feel bad, wrong, and guilty. So it's like learning to switch that into, okay, I want to hear from them. I want to be acknowledged. I want to, get that response. I haven't heard back from them. So I kind of feel weird. And, you go into those emotions on like exploring yourself. Why do you feel this way? Are you like, you have traumas of being abandoned? You have fears and you have had relationships where things went sideways. And if we're stuck on those experiences, of course, we're going to feel bad, wrong, guilty, and I'll like have a lot of those little thingies that trigger us come up and then stay there. But you have to remember, like, hey, this relationship might be new to you. And even though you've had a baggage of stuff that has happened to you in past, can you decide and choose in this moment to create a new relationship? Okay, you're worried. They haven't wrote back to you for a while. But here they are, present. Do you want to come up with, hi, you Lil, and then you go lash out and, however you communicate, you might be a little bit mean, you might say something, but smallest things, people are sensitive these days. People are very sensitive these days, and the smallest things you can say can hurt them. And so learning to communicate in ways where you can like say like, hey, I really missed you and I really appreciate when you give me an update when you can, if you can, but I'm so happy to talk to you right now. Oh my God, thanks for connecting. Like, however, in your own words, that would come out. I think choosing how we talk to people, like being completely aware and conscious of our words and the power it holds, it takes so little to say one little phrase that can turn this whole conversation sideways. And that person wanted to connect with you, you wanted to connect with them, but the way you start a conversation can destroy the whole thing. And then you can have arguments and arguments and arguments, and it can like really ruin the relationship. But can you start a conversation with, I missed you, I felt bad, I felt triggered, but now that you're here, I'm going to leave those emotions, or acknowledge that they are there, and maybe I will bring it up in a way where I can tell you how I feel without making you feel bad, wrong, and guilty, and tell you it's not your fault, but so that you would understand me better. And maybe in the future, if it's convenient, we can like develop things where we both meet each other's needs. And like that would be a thing. So anyway, like a lot of there's so much into talking to people. Like, who knew? Specifically, like when you're in, maybe I don't know, like probably like for lovers more, or someone you admire, maybe it happens more. Siblings, I don't know, like, but man, I've seen it with family so many times. We've seen it with clients where it's just like people can have the most amazing relationship. They can connect, and like, let's just say intimacy is amazing, people connect, they have great chats, but there are times when smallest things can become a trouble because we choose a certain way we communicate about things. And if we become aware of how we're going to express ourselves and pick a way that we can explain things without making others feel bad, wrong, and guilty, but kind of from point of view of like, hey, like I have my own triggers and you do not need to fix me. It is not your fault that I feel this way. I just wanted to let you know that this is how I feel. This is who I am. I'm working through this, and like somehow like bringing things up is just, it's a thing. And then at the same time, like assumptions, like, can you let go? Like all the things that happened, like people are into, you didn't write to me, so I'm not going to write to you. And then we're playing this game. And what if that person dies? You're going to regret not writing to them. Like there's so many advices on relationships, and I'm not a pro. I'm not telling you how to live. Like, you can listen to it if you want to, you don't have to. But I just look at these scenarios of people are like, like we're playing this cat and mouse game, chasing and the magnets, like, people come closer to you with love, you pull away, and then you pull away, and like, like they want more, or like, okay, all of a sudden they get colder, they distance themselves, they have to work, and then you miss them, and then you want them, and it's this chasing game. And we're constantly, or like some people, are constantly in that game of chasing and never getting what they want, and then choosing to play the game of, okay, well, you didn't talk to me, I'm not going to talk to you for a while, I'm going to make you miss me while I miss you like crazy, I really want to write to you, but I'm not gonna because, and then so many reasons, like, why? Why? So I'm just like exploring life a little bit and seeing that, hey, we might as well just, hey, they've been gone all day. Why don't you write to them anyway? Like, I'll play a game of, cat and mouse and chasing and stuff, but like, hey, thanks for writing, I missed you, blah, blah, blah. But just something. So, I don't know. I'm just, like ranting here, or just like, I don't know, blabbling, like not really getting to the point, just talking about a subject all over the place. But I've seen this thing so many times, and I think it's so very important to look at how we come into a relationship and how we show up and how we talk to others, and not letting these assumptions ruin our life, because we don't know what's going on at their end. And then if we assume things and act from that point of view, and then, like, it's so easy for thoughts and fake scenarios to affect how we feel, that the next moment we connect with a person, we come out at the point of fake scenario, trigger certain emotions. Now we're feeling bad, wrong, guilty, or anxious, or worried, or stressed, or something. And you just come into this fresh new relationship or fresh new conversation with being triggered. And then you show up as the aspect of, I feel bad and it's your fault because, and then, so many reasons. People can just skip that part, but like most people choose not to, because like we're stuck on our emotions. We're still feeling it. And it's not easy, like, okay, I'm not going to feel it anymore. Like you just don't get rid of that. But can we learn to take our time to acknowledge how we feel, and maybe at times to put away those emotions and have a fresh conversation? Like, hey, they've been gone all day. They've been really busy, but now they're here. They're fresh. They've been looking forward to talking to you. And you can come from a point of view of, I missed you. I am mad you didn't write back, and you're guilty, and I'm going to express my like anger to you. Or, I missed you. Thanks for connecting to me. And let's talk. And just coming with that excitement and stuff. So like, there's so many little parts of how we can communicate with people. And every single thing you say matters, and it holds such tremendous power. So kind of have to pay attention to how you feel, what you think, and how you express yourself. And of course, it's a game of two people. So it's never a one-way street. It's never just your fault or something else. But I think like putting in the effort, if you really care about this person, is important. So anyway, that's just me talking. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.